Hello everybody, welcome to History 102. We start off by looking at the concept of absolutism that you covered this week in your textbook. The class activity for today focuses on looking at different countries addressing the concept of absolutism, but before you get into that, I want to make sure that you know the two kind of major political thoughts of the 17th century. So first off, we have Thomas Hobbes. Some of you guys might have heard of Thomas Hobbes, very important political theorist. And kind of quickly here, I'm not going to spend too much time, but I want to give you an overview of his major contribution to political thought. So his major point, which will kind of mimic what Locke said, is that we are all born into a natural state, right? So the question is, how do we form a government? So in its natural state, if we were just to pop up in the world, we would want to do whatever we want to do. And unfortunately, that doesn't work well when you're living in a community. So he kind of argues that everybody lives in this kind of dog-eat-dog world and they're always fighting. And in order to kind of create stability, we must band together as a society and limit that chaos. And how do we do that? Well, according to Hobbes, is that we choose some person to represent us and really to govern us, right? Because eventually somebody does come out on top in this dog-eat-dog world, and they establish all the rules. They make sure that they're being followed, and this is what helps develop the concept of what we define as absolutism. So essentially, society bands together, and we give power to the big dog, if you will, right? We allow him to be the ruler, the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. And for the most part, he got this position because he beat everybody else out. Something like a king, if you will, from the Middle Ages. Now, in contrast to Hobbes, and even though I said there's some similarities, there is one major difference between these two. So with Locke, he argues that we are all born into the natural state, but we are all born into the state with inalienable rights. He does argue that yes, as a society, we're all self-interest people. It is a dog-eat-dog world, but we can't function like that all the time. So we must band together as a society in order to create stability. However, the major difference here is that we are all born with inalienable rights, rights that are given to us by our very own existence. And in order for us to come together as a society, these rights must be respected. So we allow some big dog to rule as long as he doesn't go against these inalienable rights right here. So there must be a mutual respect between government and man. So anytime government, or in this example, a king, goes against those wishes, or sorry, against those rights that we have, particularly our rights, and in this period we're talking about people, mostly with people with land, not so much everyday people. If government, again, a king goes against these laws, then we as a society have a right to overthrow that king or that dictator, whoever might be in power. And these are the two major political thoughts of the period. The most common during this era is Hobbes. You have a lot of kings, but you begin to see an emergence of ideas that begin to argue for things like inalienable rights, which will eventually develop to the formation of constitutional monarchies. So I want to quickly play a video for you that explains these two political thoughts. So here's the video. You can find it on YouTube. Please understand that the language is quite foul, but it does a good job in explaining these two political thoughts.
John Locke was a 17th century English political theorist, and you may or may not know of him as the guy who invented America. Of course, America didn't exist in Locke's day, but the founding fathers loved John Locke so much that they used his political works as the basis for the Declaration of Independence, to the point of almost directly ripping him off. But to understand Locke's political theories, you should first get a grounding of his work on epistemology, or the philosophy of knowledge. John Locke proposed the epistemological theory of the tabula rasa, or blank state, which puts forward the notion that every human being is born with our minds completely empty, which went against the philosophical tradition that at the very least we're born with some basic rational understanding or a set of desires and intentions commonly referred to as human nature. Locke believed there was no human nature, and each and every one of us is the author of our own character, ergo, all men are created equal. This is called empiricism, which is the position that all human knowledge derives originally from the senses, and there is no such thing as knowledge that precedes observation. Locke distinguished between simple and complex knowledge. Simple knowledge is the information we receive directly from the world, and these ideas cannot be broken down into simpler concepts. Complex knowledge, however, is made up of all the concepts we assemble from simple knowledge. For example, a series of simple concepts might be solid, gold, round, and shiny. From this we develop the complex idea of a coin. From then we can scale up to the more complex ideas of trade, then to value, then to currency, then to economics, then to Reaganomics. But all of these concepts are constructed entirely from the basic simple concepts that we took in from our senses. Locke's philosophy is often understood in opposition to his contemporary Thomas Hobbes, who proposed that all men are created dicks, and rather than a blank state, we're all born with an overpowering drive for self-interest, and without a strong authoritarian rule, people descend into a race of squabbling cave people. John Locke was certainly no fan of large intrusive government, and proposed instead that each individual has a fundamental right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. He believed that the government's job was to allow us these liberties instead of just telling everybody what to do all the time. Thomas Hobbes laughed long and hard at this proposition, saying that because everybody acts primarily in their own self-interest, sooner or later a society that promotes liberty degenerates into a society where everybody's stabbing each other in the fucking face. Therefore, the price of peace, according to Hobbes, was to forfeit all of your natural rights to an absolute monarch who, of course, would promise not to abuse his power. John Locke thought that nobody should have absolute power, so he came up with the idea of separation of powers, which means that the church and the judicial system operate independently of the ruling class, so theoretically no one person can commit a crime and get away with it, which is an idea that worked pretty well in America until Richard Nixon. Thomas Hobbes laughed again, shrugged his shoulders, and said, "Good luck building your pansy-ass, Mickey Mouse loser country into an economic and political superpower." As much as Western civilization as a whole, and America in particular, have benefited from the original ideas of John Locke, nevertheless, these days, most people would say he was a fucking filthy libertarian, and if he were alive today, he'd live in a bomb shelter with a bunch of Ron Paul campaign material and an arsenal of guns shrieking about how Bush did 9/11.
Okay, so there you saw an explanation of Hobbes and Locke. Please keep the political stuff outside of this activity. But the goal was really that you understand these two concepts. And I think that video does a nice job explaining simplistically their two main ideas.